All right, so Stackelberg problem in a duopoly. A Stackelberg occurs when there are only two firms in the industry, and one of the firms takes lead into the market, meaning one of the firms becomes what we call as a first mover. All right, so now leaving the other firm behind, the other firm will observe. So as they are getting into the market, they will react. So in Stackelberg problem, we are going to illustrate this using an example to see what quantities and what prices will each firm produce given a duopoly problem. Let's look at this example. Assume an industry with two firms with the following details. P is equal to 100 minus Q. That's a demand function for the industry. And then we have where Q represents the quantity for firm 1 and firm 2 respectively. Okay. The total cost is given. The total cost is given by simply saying Q is equal to Q1, meaning quantity produced by firm 1 plus quantity produced by firm 2, Q2. So these Q1 and Q2, it's not Q1 squared, or it's not Q raised to the power 1 and Q raised to the power 2. They simply denote different quantities for the two different firms, quantity 1 and quantity 2, respectively. All right. So now the first thing to do is the assumption is that firm 1 is the first mover. Firm 1 is first mover in the industry. Okay. Firm 1 is first mover in the industry. So now if firm 1 is first mover in the industry, the best we can do is to develop the reaction function for firm 2. Is to develop the reaction function for firm 2. So the way we develop the reaction function for firm 2, we are stating the profit maximizing condition, which is marginal revenue equal to marginal cost, and then we're making Q2 to become the subject of the formula. We are making Q2 to become the subject of the formula. So for us to get the marginal revenue, we first need to calculate the total revenue for the firm. So this total revenue for the firm, let me do this. This total revenue for the firm is given by multiplying total revenue is given by multiplying price, multiplied by quantity. Multiplied by quantity. That's how we get the total revenue. So we have the price there, but in this case, we want to define the Q because this Q is Q1 plus Q2. So now I'll remove that so that I put Q1 and Q2 respectively in this equation. So I'll introduce the brackets. So we'll have something like that. All right. So this is the demand function. Now to find the total revenue, we need to multiply by quantity, and we are interested in Q2. So we are going to multiply this by quantity 2 to make total revenue. So total revenue will be equal to this, the whole lot of that, which will be multiplied by quantity 2. So let me do this. Press there, then the whole lot of the function will be multiplied by quantity 2, Q2. Let me reduce that so that it doesn't seem like Q squared. Yeah, it's just Q2, quantity 2. All right, there we are. So expanding the equation, or expanding the total revenue function, I will simply say 100 minus Q1 here. Then this negative here will have an impact on that positive there. So when we multiply that to be negative, so it will be minus Q2 Q2 there, and then I'll still have the brackets this side because I've just expanded that one. I haven't yet multiplied it by Q. I'm looking forward to multiply it by Q. So this shall be multiplied by Q2. Multiplied by Q2. Why Q2? Because I'm interested in the reaction function for FEM2. We want to see how FEM2 reacted when FEM1 moved into the industry. So we're just looking at that reaction function. And so now here, total revenue now. This is interesting now. So total revenue here will be 100 Q2. The Q2 here will multiply with the 100 there. 100 Q2 minus Q1 multiplied by Q2.
Q1, Q2.
Yes, Q1, Q2, correct. So we have Q1 here, Q1, Q2. And then we are going also this far. Q2 multiplied by Q2. Q2 squared. So I have Q2
yes,
here.
Q2 squared.
Q2 squared, yes. I have Q2 here. Now I need to square it. Yes, Q2 squared. So it will look like that. All right, so Q2 squared here. So now marginal revenue is basically the derivative of total revenue. So now we're going to derivate this one to get the marginal revenue. So we are derivating it with respect to Q2 because we're interested in the reaction function for Q2. So as per tradition, this is as good as raised to the power 1. So 1 multiplied by 100 will be 1. Then 1 minus 1 will be 0. That's how we derive it. We derive it by multiplying the power multiplied by the coefficient. So 1 multiplied by 100 will be 100. And then the same power we subtract 1. 1 minus 1 will be 0. And then we say anything raised to the power 0 gives us 1.
0.
So here it will give us 1. Because the Q2 will give us 1 because it's raised to power 0 now. And then we come here, we're looking at that, and we are derivating again. We are still saying we are derivating this with respect to Q2. So this is also raised to power 1. So 1 multiplied by the number which is in front. We guess this number is a 1. We just don't indicate it. 1 multiplied by 1, it will be 1. Then 1 minus that 1 there will be 0. So the Q2 will be raised to power 0. And then it will be rendered to be 1 as well. So we'll only remain with Q1 here. We'll only remain with Q1 here. We'll remain with Q1 here. Q1 multiplied by 1, which will be 1, of course. So it will be something like this. Okay, and then we move on to this one. This one is raised to power 2, and the number there in front is 1. So 2 multiplied by 1, it shall be 2. Here, then 2 minus 1, this one, 2 minus 1 will be 1. So we'll have Q2 raised to power 1, which is just Q2, which is just Q2 here. So we have
2Q2.
Yeah, 2Q2. All right, so this is where we are. So to get the reaction function, we also need to find the marginal cost. Remember, the total cost reflects the same for the two frames. So meaning the total cost for frame 1 will be 40Q1. The total cost for frame 2 will be 40Q2. Okay. So now we're going to derive the total cost so that we can have the marginal cost. Okay, we're going to derive the total cost. This is the this is 40Q2. Then when we derive it, this one is raised to the power 1 multiplied by 40 will be 40. Then 1 minus 1 will be 0. So anything raised to the power 0 will be 1. So the Q will render itself to be 1, and then we shall just remain with 40. So now we have the marginal cost and we have the marginal revenue. Having said that, we're going to set the profit setting, which is profit maximizing setting, which is marginal revenue should equal to marginal cost. So marginal revenue, MRR, should equal to MC. And then what we have here now is the marginal revenue is that. The marginal revenue is here. And the marginal cost, we know it's 40. The marginal cost, we know it's 40 here. So we have that. I can remove these ones, since when we multiply, they will still remain to be that. So now we have this, and then to this now, we are making Q2 the subject of the formula, so that we have the reaction function for FEM2. So this is what we shall do. We shall move everything else to the other side of the equation. So the 100, when it comes this side, it will be negative 100. So we moved it here. Negative Q1, when it becomes this side, it will be positive Q1. Positive Q1. So now we have that. So we're going to divide through everything. We divide it through by negative 2, so that we remain with the Q2 alone this side. So when we divide the first one here, divide by negative 2, the negative 2 will cancel itself. And then 40 divided by negative 2, or maybe basically what we can do here is first to reduce it. 40 minus 100 will be negative 60. And then we can say now, let me not confuse things. We know what should be here. Yes. Then we're dividing through, we just reduce that. We're dividing through negative 2 everywhere, so that it disappears here. So negative 30 divided by negative 2, negative 60 divided by negative 2 give me 30. So the 30 will be here. And then negative 2 divided by 1, there is a 1 here. I have negative 0.5. Negative 0.5 Q1. Okay. So here we'll say divide through by negative 2 to obtain the function below. Okay. So that's the reaction function for FEM2. Reaction function for FEM2. This is the reaction function for FEM2. So now the reaction function for FEM2 will affect the demand function for FEM1. So let's look at the demand function. Where is it? It's here. Yeah, the demand function is here. So now we have the demand function here, which is that. So now where there is Q2 here, we'll replace it with the entire function there, the Q2, the reaction function. So now this becomes P being equal to 100 minus, let me expand it before I can introduce anything there. Let me expand it. So the negative here will have an effect there. So this will be negative, sorry about that. This will be negative Q2. Okay. So now here where there is a Q2, I need to replace with the reaction function. To reflect the demand function for FEM1. So I need to replace with the reaction function. The reaction function is, well, the reaction function is here. So I'm getting the order of this to go and replace 2Q here, Q2 here. So I'll grab it like that and put it in the brackets so that the signs are not compromised. I have that now. From here, we can expand further. So the negative here will affect this 30, it will be negative 30. Again, this negative will affect that negative there. Negative and negative will make positive, so this will be plus after after simplifying. And then now we have these functions here. So now we have P here being equal to, so there is 100 here, 130 there, this is negative 30, 100 and negative 30 will give us 70. So it will be like that. And then going forward, negative Q2 plus 0.5 Q. So, sorry, negative Q1 plus 0.5 Q1. So, what will happen is I have negative 1 plus 0.5, which will give me negative 0.5, which will give me negative 0.5 Q1. Negative 0.5 Q1, like that. So now we have this function, which reflects FEM1. So now from here, we can find the total revenue for FEM1, and then find the marginal revenue for it. Okay, so here, total revenue is PQ, as indicated area. TR is PQ, price multiplied by quantity, and then total revenue now will be this multiplied by Q1. Multiplied by Q1. Multiplied by Q1. So now we have the total revenue here. Total revenue is equal to 70 Q1 minus 0.5 Q1 squared. Yes, sir. 0.5 Q1 squared. Marginal revenue now. Marginal revenue will be equal to 70 here. 0.5 multiplied by that would be 0.5 multiplied by 2, that would be 1. So we'll have 1 Q1.
Q1.
Yes. So Q1 just. All right, so we have an equation which looks like that as marginal revenue, and then marginal revenue equal to marginal cost. So we can get the quantities for frame 1. So the steps basically, it's basically to obtain the reaction function for frame 2. Once you get the reaction function for frame 2, slot it into the demand function. Where there's Q2, slot it into the demand function so that you can have the demand function for frame 1. Once you have the demand function for frame 1, find the marginal revenue, and then proceed to process marginal revenue, proceed to process the setting, which is marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. So here we have 70 Q1, 70 Q1 being equal to 40. The marginal cost is 40, being equal to 40. Okay. So we'll push the 70 this side. We'll remain with negative Q1 on the other side of the equation. Q1, then we have 40 minus 70. We are getting negative 30. Negative 30 here. Because of the negative in front of the Q, we divide negative 1, divide by negative 1 there, such that the Q1 remains a positive. So negative 1 divided by negative Q1, it shall just be Q1 now. It shall just be Q1. And so Q1 now, negative 1 divided by negative 30 divided by negative 1, that will be 30 now. So you see, that's how frame 1 is going to produce. So now, having this in mind, we can tell the quantity for frame 2. We can tell the quantity for frame 2 just by using the reaction function for frame 2. Here it is. Reaction function for frame 2 to get the quantity for frame 2. So where there is Q1 here, I'll simply replace by 30. So there will be 30 here now. 30, 0.5 multiplied by 30 is 15. 30 minus 15 is 15. So Q2 now will be 15. Q2 now will be 15, like that. Q2 now will be 15. Had it been quantity, they were going to produce the same units, like we saw in the other example. So now, this is what basically happens with Stackelberg. So Stackelberg, we're looking at one firm being the leader and the other one following through the market. So now we can find what the price is. Price is equal to 100 minus Q. Remember, Q Q1 plus Q2.
Yes.
So now here we're going to do this, and then this is what will happen. We have Q1 plus Q2, Q1 which is 30 plus Q2 which is 15. So there we have 45. Now 100 minus 45. It's basically 55. That is the price. So this is how we sort out the Stackelberg problem in a duopoly. So now we need to be careful with the examiner. The examiner can ask us to do the Stackelberg. The examiner can ask us to do a quantity where the firms react at the same time. The examiner can ask us to do a cartel where the firms collide and agree on a price. So there are basically 3 of them. I'm sure the one for the cartel and the one for the quantity, we have the video there. We can do the revision just to see the differences and the principles applied, because if we just misapply the principle, then we have a problem. We might end up solving for quantity, but meanwhile we've been asked to solve for Stackelberg.
Oh yeah. So the optimization points for all the markets is the same. MRI is equal to MC.
In exception for a firm which is operating in perfect competition. For a firm which is operating, all other firms, oligopoly, monopolistic competition, monopoly, its MRR is equal to MC. But for a firm operating in perfect competition, its price, which is P, is equal to MC. Instead of marginal revenue, it's P being equal to MC for a firm operating in a perfect competition.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sure. Thank you so much for carrying through. Let me just save this video and send it to the group just now.
Okay. Even there is my solutions.
Thank you so very much.
Okay.